All right, let's talk about generative artificial intelligence. Before that, let's step back and see how we got here. It's 180 years of journey that still continues. Around 1830s and 1840s, Ada Lovelace and Charles Babbage collaborated to create a general purpose computing. Charles Babbage created analytics engine, which is first known general purpose mechanical computer, which attempted to encode simple operations such as addition, subtraction. Afterwards, Alan Turing, the pioneer of computing, wrote a seminal paper on computing, machinery, and intelligence, and he postulated the intelligent machines. Afterwards, 1956, Assistant Professor John McCarthy at Dartmouth arranged a summer workshop, and the goal of the workshop was to attempt precisely to describe every aspect of learning or any other features of intelligence so machines can simulate it. Very audacious goal and a first step to achieve AGI. Now, where does GenAI fit into the AI landscape? So artificial intelligence encompasses machine learning and deep learning. And there are various methods of AI. First is like supervised learning, where we pass label data to the algorithm. For example, if we have emails with spam and not spam, and we can feed various emails with associated label and train the model. And when we actually get new email, the model can identify whether it's a spam or we have trained it on specific data set which was labeled. Reinforcement learning is, think about a toddler learning as it interacts with the environment. And the best example I can think of is the self-driving car or a robot which is looking at the environment and changing its behavior. Now, unsupervised learning is a bit different than supervised learning, where it doesn't rely on the label data. For example, like if we pass customer data to the model and ask it to identify different segments of the customers by either the spending or different characteristics such as demographics, and it can cluster the users or the customers on their characteristics automatically without a label data. Finally, the GenAI, which is the inflection point of the AGI at the moment. So generative artificial intelligence creates new content which is different from what we have seen so far. Let's dive deeper a little bit. And this is again a very high level overview. First, at the bottom you see the data that many of the foundational models use are Common Caller, AlexNet, and other images and videos on the internet. And the foundation model are not designed for a specific task. For example, earlier there used to be a model for one specific application. Foundation model actually encode representation of language or images irrespective of the application or the end user that is going to use the foundation model. And there is large language models and media models which are trained on the foundation model or fine-tuned. On top of that, we can create different applications. For example, think of Expedia designing an application where you can create your trip with a natural language conversation prompts, and there can be associated service integration. For example, you go to a destination and then there's an Instacart order waiting for you there. And all that can be also orchestrated with just a natural language conversation with computers. And I think this is a very important aspect. We can redefine the way we interact with computers. Earlier, we designed the computing layer with the limitations that, for example, like we need to search with specific keyword or ensure that the computer understands what we're typing. But now we can just have the conversation the way we have with our friend or family member and get things or services that we desire to make our lives better. Now, How is the foundation model trained? Again, there is a this is very high level overview. Text and media, unlabeled data is fed into the model, and there is a self-supervised approach where the model learns the representation and creates weights and biases for the data so that it can be used for the general purpose. And this is the training aspect. And then there are different tasks which falls into the inference where, for example, ChatGPT can create content, which is generation. We can use the large language model to classify customer emails and see whether the customers are actually are happy or unhappy. So all that can be done with, again, simple fine-tuning of the large language model. We can use it for summarization, question answering, and this can be done with just fine-tuning as opposed to training the model ground up. And this is the general purpose computing artificial era that we are actually talking about. Now the English language is the hottest language, and it's going to redefine the computing, redefine the application layer. Pretty exciting things. Thanks for watching. Let's go deeper and explore other aspects, applications, technologies, and try to build a few things together. Thank you for watching. Happy Thanksgiving.